Okay.
Recording is on.
I'm going to kind of chill, kind of close my eyes, kind of get into it. And you're going to see me kind of go neutral. So I'm like normally this like person, but I'm going to be pretty level now. Okay. Okay. Hold on. All I hear from you is saying, I miss him so much. He was just the best. He was just the best. And he was like, I know. I know. I'm like,
That's literally something he would say.
He's like, I know. I'm like, oh, okay. Thanks for being so. Okay. He says, did I pass? Yes. Was it good? No. Was it a little bit ugly? Kind of. But, I'm like, okay, hang on. Another thing with this is that I'm going to be, if you were watching any of my other sessions, I'm going to be kind of top note at first. And then once I gain their trust, because they're strangers to me, but they know you, then they start to open up more. Okay, so we're going to kind of go down there. He says, but I loved her. Tell her I loved her. I'm like, okay, good.
I love
Remember, he feels it. Remember, I'm the neutral party, so I'm like, I will tell her. Don't worry about it. There you go. This doesn't make any sense because I don't see in any part of his life where he would be that. He said, I was persecuted for my actions. Was there a point where he was persecuted for his actions?
Yes. So he was actually gay. And, yeah. And I didn't personally know that until after he passed. And I asked my mother because it's her brother.
Yeah.
And I just flat out one day I was like, Mom, was Uncle Brad gay? And she said, well, why do you ask? And I was like, nobody just lives with their best friend for over, 30 years. And she was like, well, yeah, he was. So that's probably the biggest thing that I could think about.
That's what? Okay, because I'm asking him, he was like, because that's why he's so freaking snippy. I love it. Okay.
He's definitely got sass.
Yeah, that's what he is. He's like, tell her she's beautiful. She's beautiful. And I'm like, okay. Because I've never heard I was persecuted for my actions before. That's very specific. That's very interesting. Hang on. He's like, oh yeah, you should have seen it back in the day. We had to hide. I'm like, hold on. He said, I knew it from a little child. He's like, I had to hide it from my mother. Hold on. He's talking about seeing you in a dress. Were you either in a prom dress or in like a formal dress or something like that? Because that's what he's showing me.
I don't know. I can't really remember. He was supposed to come to my graduation or something around my graduation, I believe.
Okay.
When he passed.
It's an event. It's like getting dressed up for a big event. It's one of these things. Okay. Remember, he's never been. Okay. He's never been channeled before. And so the way he's showing me is like something big. Like that's why I said prom. It's around like the end of high school. We're in like this area.
Yeah, so it was probably around then.
Okay, cool.
His partner came to my graduation. His partner and his son.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Why would he say your mother was supportive but could have been better?
she had no problem, as far as I know. She really had no problem him living his life, but she didn't outwardly want to express it.
Okay.
And yeah, they actually are from Texas. So
Yeah.
my mom's whole side of the family is from Texas, and they came from a very, very conservative home. And my mom ended up marrying a very conservative man as well.
Okay.
So it's not like they have a problem with him specifically because he's family, but my dad has outwardly expressed his distaste for it.
Gotcha. Okay. That would make, because she was like, she was support, but it could have been better. That's what he said. Could have been better. And I'm like, oh, hang on. He says, tell your mom to do something with her hair.
No, oh my gosh. I was just on FaceTime with her like yesterday, and she was talking about how her hair was all messed up.
Really? Because it's a joke. It's nothing bad. This is a joke coming from him. So that is probably exactly why okay.
She's probably have gray hair growing in.
Gotcha. He's like, tell her she needs to do something with her hair. I'm like, okay, hang on. He says, I was doing fine, and then they just lost me. Is that a thing? Hang on. But he's talking about being sick, though. But then he was doing fine, because he's talking like a slow decline, but doing fine, and they lost me.
I think the last time I saw him, he was sleeping on my aunt's couch. And I mean, I wasn't able to see him for too long, so I wasn't quite sure what state he was in. I just know he was taking medication at the time.
Yeah.
So I'm not completely aware of that situation, but I do remember seeing him in a state of kind of gray.
Okay. Why would he say I just couldn't get my shit together?
I'd say it probably has to do with the medication and also alcohol. He liked to drink a lot.
Oh, okay.
And from what my mother had told me is that, he mixed his medication with alcohol quite often, and then the last time he did ended up being the time that he passed because of it.
Okay. Because he's like Amy. He's literally telling me like Amy. I just couldn't get my shit together. I've never had them tell me my name over and over again. Like, hold on. God, I wish I could read his partner. He's talking about I had this perfectly wonderful man next to me.
The man in that photo that I sent you.
Is that him? Okay, yeah. He's talking about, he's just like this deep regret. It's probably gonna make me cry, and I don't cry during sessions. Actually, I cried last session, so I'm just not even gonna say that anymore. I try not to because I stopped channeling. He's talking about like I had this perfectly wonderful man next to me, and I just. He said there's something about being the best in the world. I guess that's what he felt like himself. And then being at nothing. Hang on. He said it was just better to sleep. So I'm guessing it was some sort of downer or some sort of thing that made him sleep.
Yeah.
Made him tired.
Probably. I mean, my mom, she didn't want to go into too much detail with it.
It's okay.
Yeah. But
he has a lot of regret.
Really?
That's what they do. It's okay. It's not a bad thing. It's just like if you did something that was fucked up in life and then you didn't have a chance, or like, messed up and you had to go to work and then you needed to come home and tell your boyfriend you're sorry for doing it. It's the same thing, except now you're dying and then you have to come back and tell the people you love them that I'm sorry for doing this.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to resuscitate him, but they couldn't get him.
I didn't know that.
Okay. He's talking about being flat out gone.
Okay.
I don't know who tried to check him because he's talking about resuscitating him or like trying to bring him back or trying to get him back.
His partner was the one that found him.
Really?
In his bed.
He's talking about they tried to like it almost feels like this or like this.
Yeah,
Like, okay. Oh man. They had one kid, they wanted to get more.
So his partner was previously married to a woman and
Yeah.
had a son, but I wasn't aware that they wanted more children.
Okay, because he's talking about we had one, but I had the thought of more.
Yeah, he considered his partner. His name's Michael.
Mm-hmm.
His son, he considered his son as Brad's own.
Gotcha. Yeah, because he's like, I had one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, this is deep, dude. Oh. He said I was always the opinionated one that nobody wanted to have at the party, but I was the fun one.
He was definitely the fun one. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
he's talking about. Hang on. He's like, now what am I? I'm just a nameplate. He's like,
I don't even know where he's buried.
what he's saying, he's like, I'm just a nameplate.
He's not.
I know, but that's how he feels. It's very weird when they pass this way because that's these. It's this like sad for what happened. It's not always wonderful. He's not in a bad place. There's nothing bad. It's almost like you're the first person to reach out, right? You're the first person that can hear from him, and so you're gonna get the full brunt of a lot of this, okay?
Okay.
And so as all this kind of opens up and gets aired out, just like any issue, it helps them move on. Okay? Just like any issue. Helps them move on. Okay? Mm. Did they sell the house they were in?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. So they sold the house we were in. Was that cool?
Yeah.
Okay.
Michael did. I mean, they stayed in separate bedrooms in the house that they had together, but I don't know the reason why Michael sold it, but he went off and got his own place.
Really?
Yeah. Still in San Antonio, but yeah.
But then, okay, he's like, they even sold the house we were in. I'm like, oh. He said, tell him I love him. Tell him I'll find him. Tell him I'm sorry. He said, what am I kidding myself? He's like, I don't even know if you're in contact with him, but you can be. That's what he said.
With Michael? Yeah. I mean, on Facebook, yeah.
You can be. That's why he said you can be. There you go.
Yeah.
That's a whole lot of stuff. Okay, hang on. He said, hang on. He's talking about, there's like 9 different phrases. He's a phrase person. He's saying, tell her she's doing good, sweetie. I said, okay. He's talking about, I wish I could be there to be at your parties, but I can't. They haven't happened yet, though. He's like, it's almost like he's reminiscing while, hang on. He's talking about being with your mom. He's like, tell her mom that I wish we could have been closer, even though we weren't.
Okay.
She can watch the recording too. Hang on. Do you have a brother as well?
I do, yeah.
Okay, cool. He's talking about him being like rambunctious or being like ragtag. I know he feels very cool. That like rag. He literally used the term ragtag, and I'm like, I don't know what this means.
I kind of consider him the black sheep of the family, but he's not in a sense.
Okay.
He keeps to himself a lot.
That's ragtag. Okay. Because it's like off-put, ragtag, off the beaten path, like not the, okay. His grandmother's passed?
Yeah, his grandmother, so yes.
Your mom's grandmother?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Because I was like, who's with you? He says, grandma's got me.
Okay.
I was like, who's with you? Okay. Okay, so your mom's mother's still alive, correct?
I think she actually passed. I think there's no more parental besides great aunt Jeanette. It's the only one that's still alive.
I don't know why he puts his mother, your mom's mom, is like almost like a sweet but militarized faction in his mind.
Okay.
It's like she's good, she's there. I think that may be for who he became, though. I think that may be like a separation.
I know that they had kind of a difficult time with their mother growing up.
Oh, which is why she's okay. Yeah. Usually it's interesting that the mother doesn't show up because it's literally grandmother, but mom's not there. And then now I'm asking him, I'm like, why is she not there? And he's showing me this format of what he feels with her. And it's like loving, but like a wall. That's the only way I can tell you how it feels, which could militarize would be a good thing, or strict, or like always opinionated, or always condescending, or always this, like just. He had a significant phrase that he said to his partner. Can you ask him if he said ditto?
Okay. Like do you want me to ask like his partner?
Yeah, if you can. Ditto.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't normally get words. It's like ditto or kudos. It's ditto or kudos. It's one of those bop. Hold on. I'm asking him about you right now. Now I just want to talk about death again because I'm asking about you.
Mhm.
He said, I just didn't know that it would happen like that. So it's not like we tried to actively kill ourselves. It just kind of happened that way. I'm like, okay. Do you feel like you're at a stalemate right now with your life?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Okay, cool. That's what he's talking about. Okay. It's so funny because usually I ask him about relationships and I'm like, where's she to be? Blah, blah, blah. You're single right now, correct?
I would, yes, consider myself at the moment single.
Okay, because
It's a
he's
difficult
talking.
situation.
Okay, because he's talking about, he said, girl, you don't need any of that. And, which is like, and you be by yourself. So I don't know what that would mean. But he's talking about you walking proudly and holding your head up to your own faction that you're doing. I don't know why it feels like you would be really good in business.
Okay. My dad and I were actually talking about me going into business, like as a degree, like 2 days ago.
Well, you should. You should do it. It'll be a school of hard knocks at first, but you'd be really, really good at it. Okay? You'd be really, really good at it. You'd be the person that's like, no, that doesn't make sense. Please go away. Like that. Not in a bad way, but just you would know how to
Yeah.
get it done. Get it done. Hang on.
Yeah.
He's like, I know he won't appreciate that, but tell your father that he raised a wonderful daughter. Oh my god, okay. Okay.
That's funny.
That is like, oh my god. He's like, tell her I'm fine, tell him I'm fine. I'm just figuring out me. Figuring out me. Michael has a new partner, kind of. He's
Oh,
talking
okay.
to a gentleman. Do you know that?
No, I didn't.
Because he's talking about him having like waiting. It's not like Facebook, like, here we are, but it's like we're waiting in the wings. Like you can feel it.
Mhm.
You can feel it. And he's talking about how it's just not the same. Now, I don't know if that's because he's jealous or if it's because it's actually not good.
Okay.
So, I mean, you can keep that, but yeah. Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I had a few written down. I want to know if he's able to tell you a memory that he had with me that stuck with him.
Okay, hang on real quick. There's two. One is highly emotional. One is very chill.
Okay.
Just because that's how I can feel it first. Did he try to convince you to stay with him for the summer or something like that?
Oh, that's a good question. Um, he may have. I think when I went there when I was like 12.
He's also talking about driving with you.
Okay.
And then he's also talking about, hang on. And then he's also talking about you sobbing and coming to him. You flip through it. Were you in 8th grade for one of these?
Probably.
Okay.
I think the first time that I went to actually go see him that I can remember is me right around in middle school.
Okay. Why does it look like a condo? Did the house have a kitchen that opened up to a living room, dining room combo with a really high ceiling? You remember?
I know it was a one floor, but it definitely had, I think, vaulted ceilings.
Okay.
It
Okay.
wasn't too tall that I remember. It definitely had a lot of different rooms.
Yeah.
And kind of different turns.
He's giving like 2 or 3 things. He's talking about one coming up and crying. I don't know what that is. He's talking about one talking about being very proud, but I think that might be reaction to a memory we have now or somebody we have now and just telling you about it. Because that hug doesn't feel like it was a physical hug. It feels like it was an emotional hug. Very different. Would he take you and your brother out?
You know, I don't remember my brother actually coming.
Okay. He's talking about driving with you, and then he's talking about the boy.
He may have been talking about his son, possibly.
Okay, it's you, and then there's a boy. There's a younger boy, and I'm like, who is this? Hang on.
Oh, younger. I don't know. Because I'm the youngest of 3.
You would sit in the front, they would sit in the back. Who's that?
My mom and my aunt would probably sit in the back.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Was he a bad influence on you for a second? Not bad, but like in a fun uncle way type of thing.
Yeah, I'd say, I mean, for what I can remember,
Okay,
he
okay.
seemed really fun and really happy and party.
Because the one thing that he's showing me is like driving. And I know this is talking about, but like slow-mo looking back and looking. Then he has like this hardcore emotional. So I wanted her to be happy. That's all I wanted. Hang on. What is with the crying to him? What is that?
Is he crying?
Yeah, what's up with that?
I don't know. I never really saw him cry, other than that time that I saw him on my aunt's couch.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was always showing up at your mom's house, though, correct?
Well, my mom lived in Tennessee at the
Okay.
time.
Who's the
And
person's house that he shows up to? Boom. Boom.
my Aunt Debbie.
Okay. 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 I'll have to pull that a little bit. He's giving me like 4 or 5 different things. And I can't get a specific, though. Yeah, I can't get a specific. It's like pages. It looks like pages. And I'm like, what is all this? Because he says, well, which one?
I can tell you two that I remember the most, if that helps any.
One of them is taking you out. One of them is taking you someplace. One of them is taking you out, because that's what he's showing me, taking you out. And the other one is physically in a house. Physically in a house. Physically
Okay.
at home. That's
Yeah.
one of those. And there's like all these things going on around it. One is taking out, one is physically in a home. Both of them feel very comfortable. One feels a lot more fun than the other one. One feels fun, like exciting. We're out here. This is great. And the other one was just like comfort and like, wow, this is nice. It's a very 2 different feelings. So
those are probably the two that I remember the most, because I
Okay.
remember him taking me out to like downtown San Antonio and going like sunglass shopping. He had a thing for Ray-Bans.
Okay. Okay.
And yeah, and so we were going to go shopping, and then I remember a time where he got tamales and had them prepared for us when we came over to his house, and we had tamales that night.
Okay, at the house. Okay, because one is like, one makes me feel like I'm free. My hair is flowing in the wind. This is great. This is the funnest moment of my life. Like it makes me go back to like when I was 12 and I rode with my sister in her first convertible. Like that's what it feels like. And then the other one he takes me to is like, it's home. It's comfortable. It's wonderful. We're here, but I'm still amazed at what's going on. It's like this childlike amazement. So it's very interesting. So if I couldn't, I have another session like 3 minutes ago. So take 5 minutes and have a good cry. Okay. I could read you for hours, but give it 10 minutes. Just like breathe down, tell him thank you. And then if you have any questions or if you need me, just let me know. Okay.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I love you, Ashley. See you later. Okay.
All right.
Bye, honey.